Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 12th biology students, and this is for 31st October 2020. As we all know that we are into the revision mode and we are revising the biology syllabus for your batch, and we are revising in this session chapter number 10, Microbes in Human Welfare, and this is quite closely related to chapter number 8, wherein we talked about human health and diseases. And human health depends upon the types of microbes that attack us, and there we talked about the diseases, the dangerous negative effect of microbes. In this chapter we are going to talk about positive effects of the microbes. There it is the diseases that we talked. Here we are going to talk about what are the various uses that microbes do for us. So moving ahead, microbes are diverse, like they are protozoans, some of them are bacteria, some belong to fungi, and some are microscopic plant viruses, and further smaller than viruses, viroids, and also further smaller than virions, prions. So the smallest ones that are proteinaceous. So basically they are made up of protein. And then infecting agents, they infect the organisms. They are found everywhere. We say omnipresent, and on earth, ranging from soil, air, water, and some inhabitable places. You name a place, microbe will be there. That is why we say they are omnipresent, if not omnipotent. Bacteria and fungi can be grown on nutritive medium to form colonies. So you must have seen fungi colonies and bacterial colonies, which can be seen by naked eyes and very useful in study of microorganisms. Larger the colonies, it is a blessing in disguise for us. We can study about them. Microbes cause many diseases human beings. Some of the diseases we discussed in related chapter number 8, and of course plants and animals. Several microorganisms are very useful to man in diverse ways. Let us see the positive side of the microbes in this chapter. So how microbes are useful in household products. First one, of course, very common, every day we are all seeing it, that is when we eat curds, masru, and we understand that the very formation of curd is because of the microbe, thanks to lactobacillus, a bacteria called lactobacillus. So microorganism like lactobacillus and other commonly called labs, lactic acid bacteria. Lab is expansion of LAB is lactic acid bacteria. Grow in milk and convert milk into curds. The lab produces acids that coagulate and partially digest the milk proteins. It also improves the nutritional quality by increasing vitamin B12. That's why we must eat curds, a lot of vitamin B12. In our stomach too, lab plays very beneficial role in checking disease causing microbes. This is the most useful benefit for us. So it's good that people should eat curds. So curds will have a lot of vitamin B12, and then the lactobacillus and lactic acid bacteria will check the growth of disease causing microbes in our stomach and intestine. Next, second, I am sure many bakery products that you're all eating, like bread, bun, biscuits, and of course at home your mommy preparing dosa, idli. All these are possible again because of a process called fermentation, and this fermentation is because of another microbe called yeast. And the biological name of yeast, since it is helping in baking, so it's also called baker's yeast. and the scientific name of baker's yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So you need to remember this for one more question. The dough is used, or the dough is used for making foods such as dosa and idli, and is fermented by bacteria. The puffed up appearance of dough, you must have seen the volume of the dough increasing overnight. Like your mummy will be preparing the dough one day before. Suppose tomorrow morning she wants to prepare idli, dosa as breakfast. Tonight only she prepares, and the dough size or the dough size will be, let's say, around 1 liter. And next day morning when you see, it will become bulged. It would have become around 1.5 liters. This is because of the presence of the process called fermentation, and the fermentation time, there's a lot of CO2 will be released, and that CO2 will make the dough larger in volume, and thanks to baker's yeast for this. So fermentation is because of that. And the third, again very important one, Lord Krishna's favorite, cheese, is one of the oldest food items in which microbes were used. The large holes in Swiss cheese, Swiss is very famous for quality, are due to production of large amount of CO2 by a bacterium named, now you must remember this, Propionium bacterium shermani. So Propionium bacterium shermani. The Roquefort cheese is ripened by growing a specific fungus on them for a particular flavor. So again, in the preparation of cheese, bacteria is involved. And then what about in industry? Industry also microbes are involved, and many industrial products are formed because of the presence of microbes. A number of products like beverages, all the alcohols, antibiotics that we use involve use of microbes. Production on large scale requires growing microbes in very large vessels called fermenters. So we can see the diagram of that fermenter. Yes, here you can see. Fermented beverages, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, used for bread making and commonly called brewer's yeast, is used for fermenting malted cereals and fruit juices to produce beverages like wine, beer, whiskey and rum. Wine and beer are produced without distillation, whereas whiskey, brandy and rum are produced by distillation of the fermented broth. And what about antibiotics? Antibiotics, again, they are chemical substances produced by some microbes and can kill or retard the growth of other microbes. Anti means against, bios, life, against the life of the dangerous pathogens. Of course, very famous one is the penicillin, and penicillin is obtained from a fungus called Penicillium notatum, and this antibiotic is very effective even today. So penicillin was the first antibiotic to be discovered, and antibiotics have greatly improved our capacity to treat deadly diseases such as plague, whooping cough, diphtheria and leprosy. And some of them we are using it as some chemicals and organic acids which act as enzymes, and some are used as bioactive molecules, and they are all produced from microbes. Some of the examples is, for example, citric acid, very useful chemical. This is extracted or used from a microbe fungus Aspergillus niger. And acetic acid, again one more very useful in as a preservatives, Acetobacter aceti, it's a bacterium. Butyric acid, again Clostridium butylicum, again it's a Clostridium is a bacterium, butyric acid is obtained. And of course lactic acid, Lactobacillus from the bacterium. And then ethanol, ethyl alcohol, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. All these chemicals are obtained from these microbes, and some of them are used as enzymes, like example lipase, it's used in laundry detergents. So that's how microbes are very, very useful. And one more, of course, very, very important one enzyme, pectinase and protease, used in bottled juices as preservatives. And another important one, very, very useful in the field of medicine, Streptokinase. It's obtained from Streptococcus bacterium. It is used as a clot buster, means it will remove the clots, blood clots. Sometimes the blood gets clotted in the arteries, in which the blood has to go to the heart or coming from the heart, or the blood is moving to the brain or coming out of the brain. So somewhere these clots are there will be obstruction that leads to death. So the streptokinase is very, very effective in that, in clearing those clots. And then bioactive molecules, very, very important. There is a very famous one, cyclosporin A. It's obtained from a fungus, Trichoderma polysporum. It is used as immunosuppressive agent. So whenever there is organ transplantation, for example, a kidney transplantation is there, liver transplantation is there, then the host body will try to refuse the organ that is donated by the donor, because the host body will think that there is something dangerous thing coming inside it. So to suppress this act, the cyclosporin A will be used in the host, so that temporarily the immunosuppression takes place, immune system gets suppressed, and the host can receive the organ, or can transplantation be done, organ transplantation can be done from the donor. So there it plays a crucial role, cyclosporin A. And another important chemical, bioactive one, statins. It is very, very effective. It's obtained again from the yeast, Monoscus purpureus. Again, you need to remember all these names. These statins are used as blood cholesterol lowering agents. You know, cholesterol is bad for health, and this cholesterol gets increased in fatty people, obese people, and this gets obstructed. This gets deposited within the arteries, blood vessels, and blood flow will not be smooth. So with the jerks, the blood will flow. That affects the very functioning of the heart. Hence, in such people, these statins are used so that the cholesterol level will be brought down and the person can be healthy. So these are all the various uses of microbes that every day we can use it. We continue in the next session about this.